and it hasn't quite worked out for you, then not even if like you're failing, but just if you're trying to pursue something, if something like, hey, like this thing, I don't know why didn't this work this week or what's going on? Like what happened? I think it's a good time to kind of like talk about it. At least that's what I try and do, for myself. I try and go back through it, talk about it. It's a little cold today. Other than that, I feel all right. It is January the 18th, and it's our Saturday workshop as always. But today we're going to open it up to everybody so that we can have a little more fun, share a little more knowledge with folks, and then just answer some of the wider questions that are there. Sometimes the questions, they can be narrow if they're questions that you just want to talk about for you. Um, I am prepared. I do have something I want to share, of course, but let's structure it, okay? So if it's what, 2:05 now? Is everybody 2:05 Eastern? Is that what we got? Yes, no, maybe so.
Yes.
Okay, we got 2:05. All right, so if it's 2:05 now, let's I'll teach for about 15 or 20 minutes, and then we'll do Q&A after that. And the Q&A is no holds barred for, let's call it 40 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Let's go no holds barred for like 40 minutes. It doesn't matter what you ask me about, if it's charts, if it's a particular symbol or, just whatever it is, we just kind of get into it. Whatever you want to talk about, we'll kind of get into it. Does that sound good? Is that good for everybody? That's good for everybody? We good with that?
Yes.
Sure.
All right. All right. Cool, cool, cool. First and foremost, man, appreciate y'all hanging out on a Saturday. Working is good. First thing God gave us was something to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, go get to work. So I believe in putting in work. And if you work on some Saturdays, even though typically folks like to relax on the weekends, just a little bit of work on Saturday can take you way far ahead, like way farther than you thought. So I appreciate you being here. I think I get a question so much, and I get this question at least 3 times a day. At least 3 times a day, I get this question on some platform of mine, and I wanted to take some time and kind of answer it today. I'm going to share my screen so that you all can see my screen and stuff like that. Is that cool? Can I share it? And then we get going. Here we go. And if you're on Instagram, you can't see the screen, but if you go to YouTube, you'll be able to see the presentation live. Live on my YouTube, live on YouTube at Jay the Trader Cares. Boom. There we go. All right, pin it. All right, let's get to work. I'm gonna share the screen. Y'all let me know if you can see it, right? Can you see it? Yes, no? Are we good?
Not yet.
How about now?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Yeah, we got it.
I think by now you all pretty much know what the whole vibe is. How much money do I need to start, Jay? I get that question. If I don't get it once a day, I get it 5 times, 3 times a day. Easy. Hey, how much? So Jay, like I'm kind of how much I need to start? How much do I need to start? How much do I need to start? Has anybody ever asked that question to me or anybody else when you're first getting started? How much do I need to start? How much do I need to start? Now, I know what you all might be thinking. Hey, Jay, I'm already in the game. I really don't need this presentation because, I'm kind of started, but it's something in here for everybody. So if you hang out, I'm sure that you'll get something from this today. How much do I need to start? Raynetta said, every time, bro, every time someone asks this. So let's kind of get into it. And then after that, we'll do Q&A. How much money do I need to start? There are common misconceptions. The misconceptions are that if you have a bigger account, literally, whatever this is, got it. If you have, thank you. Oh, let me just disable annotation for others real fast. I appreciate that. Uh, somebody's like, oh yeah, let me zoom in real fast. Everything. I appreciate that though. How much money do I need to start trading? People think that bigger, be rich was good, boy. Bigger accounts mean bigger results, and that's not the truth. If you have money and no skill, you will lose your money. But if you have skill and a little money to go with it, you can grow your money. This is how it goes. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody really, really, I always say, bro, if you are 6'4", you run a 4'4", and you have 9% body fat, I can't start you at middle linebacker if you don't know how to play football. You might have all of the tools, all of the capabilities, but you don't know how to play the game. You don't know the rules. You don't know the position. You don't know the object. You don't know what everybody wants. You don't know the time constraints. You don't know anything about it. You might just have the raw materials for what it takes to be successful, but you need to know how to play. So everybody, if you kind of feeling me right now, yes, do you need some money to start? Yes. And we'll talk about the money you need to start. But having money doesn't mean you have success. It doesn't mean that that's what's going to happen. You just because you have money, you're not going to just automatically have success. Let's get into it. All right. The cost of trading. There are some financial requirements. Okay. You're going to have brokers. Everybody say or type broker. Unmute your mic. Say broker. Say broker, broker, broker. Come on, broker.
Broker.
Broker,
All
broker,
day long,
You
bro.
know what? Real estate brokers, job brokers,
broker.
dating brokers, social brokers. Everybody's, what a broker is basically a road. But on every good road, there is a toll, So a broker helps you get into and out of the market, and you have to pay them because they provide a service. You can get into, and get out of the market. You taking the broker's pathway to do it, they're gonna collect some fees from you. Cool thing is, it doesn't really take a lot of money. Man, $500, $1,000, man, you're good to go. Okay. There are different requirements of money for different instruments. Okay. Let me break this down for you really fast. There's something called the micros. And when you're in the micros, what you need in your account, your brokerage account, they always say, well, how much money do you have in your account? What that will determine is what actions you can take in the market. You have a little bit of money, you can trade a little bit of contracts. You have a lot of money, you could trade a lot of contracts. You see? So in the micros, it only requires $50 per contract you want to trade. That means, hey, you want to trade 10 contracts in the micros, your brokerage account needs to have 50 times 10, $500 in it. They'll let you trade 10 contracts. Hey, but if you want to trade not the micros, but the minis. Now, those are $500 per contract. You want to trade 10 mini contracts? Cool. No problem. That's 500 times 10 or $5,000 in your brokerage account, and they will allow you to trade 10 mini contracts. So it all really depends on the instrument you want to trade. It all depends on the size of accounts. I'm sorry, the size of contracts that you wish to trade. All of that stuff is kind of dependent. Okay. But there's all kinds of ways to get into the market. Let me tell you, a lot of folks, we're my combine people, unmute and say other people money. Come on,
Other
say other
people
people.
money.
Other
Other
people
people
money.
money.
Other people.
Yeah,
Other people money.
you know what Paul Tudor Jones did? You know what Warren Buffett did? You know what Ray Dalio did? They had skill. They proved that they had skill, and then people gave them money because of the school skill that they proved they had. You know why we want to give money to these great investors and titans in the market? You know why we will give our money to Berkshire Hathaway? Because they have a track record of doing good. Yeah, they do. Straight up. They have a track record. So we will give them money. We fund them. We fund them. And then they do things with the money to make us money. You see that? Now, did you know that you yourself, if you show that you have a track record, people will give you money to trade with? That's called combine evaluation. So combines are a very natural way of entering the market. Is how I started, and it's all good. Let's go to some other things. Real cost. Some other stuff, man. Like if you lose a trade, you lose money. Let's just put it out there. I got 15,000, Jay. I got 50,000, Jay. Jay, I got 5 bands. Jay, I just, you know what I'm saying? I came up, man. I got 175 on me, Jay. You know how much I need to put in the market. If you don't know what you're doing, put them 175 in just a couple hours, the market will take it from you. No problem. It's easy work. They'll take it right from you. So if you lose a trade, you lose money. It's part of the process. Sometimes, you will lose a trade. Let me tell you. There's technology. So if you're on Mac or on PC, you need a platform to kind of like trade on. If you want to watch Netflix, you can't just blink your eye and it come on. No, you need a TV. You see what I'm saying? So some people are using TraderVate. Some people use TradeStation. Some people use Thinkorswim. Some people use Order Flow Analytics. Some people use all kinds of platforms. Some people use NinjaTrader. Whatever your platform is, there's technology costs, right? Hey, if you use my platform and you making money with my platform, I'm gonna ask that you pay me to use my platform. Hey, you know what I'm saying? If I let you get a room in my house because you don't have no place to stay, maybe I'm gonna do that out of the kindness of my heart. But if you ask me to borrow a room in my house and then you renting it out for $500 a night and making money out of my house, I'm gonna ask you for some of them $500. Come on, somebody say, is that fair? Is that fair? Or come on, that's fair, right? So these platforms, a lot of them, they will let you use them for free if you are just learning. But if you start trading live money, they're going to say, well, pay us for a license so that you can make money on our platform. Because if you're making money, we want to make some too. Okay. Other things, data feeds you have to pay for. Because I mean, what's the use of a TV if you don't have the subscription to the platform? So you need some data coming through the television, just like you need some data coming through your platform, a reliable computer. But the biggest thing that I want to focus on is the time cost. You will not pick up trading in day one. This is not a get rich quick scheme. This is not something that you say, you know what? I'm just going to trade and in a week I'll be a millionaire. Don't do that. That is not what this is. I like to tell people this is the acquisition of a skill. Want to be a barber? You have to start cutting hair. Then you have to learn about how hair works. You got to learn about how it grows, common hair patterns, common hair textures. It is the acquisition of a skill. No one, because they know how to braid, can just put up a link on Instagram and become the hottest braider in their city. Because it still takes skills, even if you understand a little bit about it. Is that fair to say? Are y'all feeling me on that? Put a Y in the chat box and say yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I know how to throw the football. Yeah, yeah, your boy nice. I mean, I can stand right here. You be 20 yards away. I hit you right in your numbers. I'm not playing tomorrow, though, for the Ravens. I'm not going to play tomorrow because there's a difference between the acquisition of a skill and simply having a talent. You want to be a great trader, you have to work at the acquisition of a skill, and you have to do that every day. It's going to cost something that you cannot get back. It's going to cost you some time, okay? You're going to have to learn and you're going to have to practice. You're going to have to ask questions. You're going to have a strategy. You're going to have to perfect the strategy. Now, everybody loves Raising Cane's right now. Everybody loves Raising Cane's right now. But Raising Cane's didn't just start this year. Everybody loves Starbucks. Everybody loves Starbucks right now. God bless you. But Starbucks didn't open up last year. They were somewhere with one store refining their strategies and practicing and getting better and getting better. Better at coffee, better at systems, better at treats, better at the line, creating a drive-through, what headsets, who can be our supply. They were perfecting their strategy of how they sell coffee. That's what they were doing. Raising Cane's, they do two things, chicken tenders and French fries. They don't even have a quote unquote big menu. You can go there, you can get three things, a drink, some chicken tenders, and some fries. As simple as that sounds, guess what? They didn't start this year. They had to perfect that idea. They perfected it so good. I might go get some sauce today. Come on, anybody like that Raising Cane sauce? Don't just leave me out here by myself. Unmute your mic and say, yes, yes, I like that sauce too. Anybody else?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, it's pretty
Yes,
good.
sir.
Don't say it's just me. Don't say it's just me. That sauce is good. So everybody's got to refine their strategies. Don't believe that you're going to start trading on Monday, and you're going to be like somebody who's been trading for 5 years by Tuesday. No, no, no. Appreciate you, Be Rich. Love. Jesse say, I was craving that today. Yes. I haven't had meat all New Year. I haven't had any form of animal protein, I should say. So man, I can't wait to have a chicken tender. I've been eating vegetables since January 1. It's crazy. I've been working on it, man, trying to, keep that control intact. Y'all pray for you, boy. Let me show you something, man. Why do skills come first? This is what it is. If you give somebody a high performance car, they just got their license. You're gonna give them a Ferrari. You know what? Your kid's 12. They can reach the pedal with their foot. They can hold a wheel and they can see to the front. You still gonna let them drive? That I'm not doing that. Giving someone a high performance race car without teaching them how to drive is like, hey, here's a lot of money, go trade. You're bound to crash. You're bound to crash. You and all of that money that you started out with, you will crash. And I don't want that for you. I care about you. I want you to do well. I want you to be good at the market. I want you to trade well, make plenty of money. So I got to tell you the truth. The truth is risk management and emotional discipline. Man, without having that, you can drain your big account. I'm going to tell you the truth. You need risk management and emotional discipline. That doesn't happen overnight. There are people who are 40 years old, been working on not being so risky in their life. There are people who are 50 years old without emotional control right now, today. And there are people who are 20-year-olds and they have it. See, so it isn't about how old you are or how much money you have. It's how well you've worked on the skills you have. One of the craziest things I thought about this weekend, because I had to take my daughter to a basketball game, I thought about the tallest basketball player and the shortest one ever. There's a guy, his name was Muggsy Bogues. Muggsy Bogues played in the NBA and had a very full and vibrant career. And he was 5'5". He was playing against guys who were 7 feet tall, 6 feet tall, 6'9", 6'7". And I'm talking about taking them getting buckets. Skipping that lane. You did what I'm saying? Like getting buckets. I'm telling you. What does it mean to be tall if you don't know how to get the bucket? And what does it mean if you're small and you do know how to get it? See, sometimes we have this thing backwards. You might feel that, man, I didn't come from money. People don't talk about money in my family. I don't have much to get started with. Guess what? It's a 5'5" dude with a Hall of Fame coat for the NBA. Because it doesn't matter your size or stature. What matters is your skill and your ability and your passion for your own future. And I'm telling you right now, I believe that you have a right. You have a right to a positive and free financial future. But just because you have a right doesn't mean you know how to exercise it. It doesn't. It does not mean that you know how to exercise that right. And what we have to do is we have to get strong together with some just simple truth. Here's some skill you need. You're going to need some technical skills. You're going to have to be able to understand the charts, understand the using indicators, understand market patterns. You're going to have to understand these things if you want to be good at trading. You're going to have to understand risk management. Daily profit goals, daily loss limits, trade risk limits, trade profit targets, stops. You're going to have to understand these things. And thank God in this community, we teach them all the time, every day. But you have to understand these things. And it takes a minute to get it under your belt. Hey, Jay, it seems like my minute has been 5 months. Let me tell you, some people's minute lasts longer than other people's minute. I've taught old ladies and they get it in 60 days, and I've taught 25-year-olds that can't get it in 12 months. You know, that it's just people. You have your journey to be on, and we're here for every step of it. But don't try and make yourself like compare yourself to the next person. Nothing can be the big, I mean, that's the craziest thing ever to do. Don't do that. Don't do that. Stay on your path, man. And you got this. Learn your risk management. You know, learn how to use stop losses. Somebody say a stop loss. I don't know what people are teaching out here. They teach you how to get into a trade, not to get out. They teach you when to buy. They don't tell you why. They teach you, they told you on the live to get into this crypto, and now you in it and you've been, losing money. What is going on? You have got to use stop loss. Somebody unmute your mic and say stop loss. Stop loss. Come on, say it.
Stop
Stop
loss.
Stop
loss.
Stop
loss.
Stop
loss.
loss.
Stop loss.
Stop
Oh,
loss.
do you want to just keep losing? Well, if you don't want to keep losing, use a stop loss because it stops the loss. Hey, if you were bleeding, would you use a band-aid? It stops the loss of blood, right? We live in this world. We use calendars because we want to stop losing our time. Then we'll trade and not use a stop loss and wonder why we don't have any more money in our accounts. You have to have emotional discipline. Things like revenge and FOMO and fear and greed and pride and avarice and hubris and hope. You have to learn how to have all of these things, but in the right proportion and in the right balance in order to maintain fidelity, strength, confidence, and consistency in the market. Simple. And then you got to stick to a plan. Look what I wrote. During the winning streaks and the losing streaks. All right, let's just have a really honest moment. Honest moment. Hey, everybody. You ever had a little strategy and you was killing it with that strategy? Might have been 2 weeks straight. You just knocking that straight. Oh, I got me a little ATM. I found it on YouTube. Oh, this ATM killing for me. Oh, every day I'm on it. Boom. But I made 100. I made another 500. I made 500. And then that thing don't work one day. Click. I lost money then? This thing don't work. I quit. It don't work. It don't, I'm taking it. I'm quitting this. I need another thing. This thing don't work. What? Did something work for you for 2 weeks and then you hate it because it didn't work for one day? Sometimes you have to understand that we are probability traders. We are not certainty traders. We are not even certain that there will be a TikTok in a month. Huh? Maybe it's probable, maybe it's not, but we're not certain. Hey, we don't know if Amazon's stock will rise. We don't know if crypto will really go to a quarter million in 2025. That's just what the analysts say. We don't know this. But what do? We have to operate on probabilities. You operate on probabilities every day. Yes, you do. I can prove it to you. Unmute your mic, unmute your mic, unmute your mic. Get ready, because I have a question for you. When somebody tells you the weather, they say that it's a 30% blank of rain. Tell me what's the blank?
Chance.
Fair.
Chance.
Ooh, it's 30%
Probability.
chance of rain. See, you deal in probabilities every day. Hey, guess what? I have a question. I have another question. I have a really serious question. Here's a question. Right. We gonna watch some basketball, and we gonna watch that boy from the West. We gonna watch that young man, Steph Curry. Yes, y'all know Steph. He the one who, when he shoot, he just can make the shots all the time. There's something that on his stat sheet, and then they call it a field goal
Percentage.
a percentage. What that number tells you is, hey, it's about this chance that he'll make a shot. Isn't that something? Like everywhere we go, there are probabilities all around us. Husbands, what are husbands at? Husbands say, yeah. Y'all in here say, yeah.
In the building, man. I'm in the building.
Oh, real husbands in here.
Yeah.
Hey, husbands, it's Friday night. It's about 4:30 going into 5. You say, I know my wife gonna want blank for dinner. You almost can tell. I bet you she gonna want blank.
That's right.
Y'all had Italian last night. She don't want to eat it again tonight. They don't eat the same thing twice in a row. Not if they had it last night. They don't want it again
That's
today.
right. That's
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
No, no. Mm-mm. We just had Mexican last night. I don't want to
Yep.
have.
Do the math. That's right.
I'm telling you,
Probably this week
there's always going to be a world
once
of
it goes back to normal.
possibilities, a world of probabilities. But then when we come to the market, we feel like we should be operating in a world of certainties. And that is just wrong. What we have to do is put ourselves in a high probability situation with a positive risk to reward ratio. And we have to operate like that every day with consistency. Now, that's something we cannot leave to chance. If I'm going to teach you, let me teach you this. Now write this down. Everything can be probability, but my
Okay.
attitude and behavior cannot.
Can you repeat that,
Everything
please?
can be a probability. Everything can. But my attitude and behavior cannot. Everything can. But my attitude, my behavior, they cannot. They cannot. Let's keep on moving. Let's keep on moving. And then we'll finish up and then we'll go to our question and answer section. That sounds good. Are y'all getting something out of this so far? Put a one in the chat box and say yes.
For
Yes,
sure.
sir.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Here we go. Here we go. All right. Uh, Starting with the small account forces you to focus on consistency instead of quick profits. Starting with a small account, it helps you to manage risk more conservatively. And starting with a small account helps you develop in discipline and grow incrementally. Now, this is very, very, very. For me, it's very, very what they call it, like an oxymoron. That's really what it is. You know how those oxymorons, like they call it like jumbo shrimp, like how do you say hot ice, these kind of things. It's like they are opposites, but in certain situations, the opposite is exactly what you need. Exactly what you need. When you have a big account, it is very difficult to learn the lessons. But with small accounts, the lessons become magnified. In my own trading journey, I began trading, and it was me and my brother Ooj, you dig? And we were talking about the markets, loving the markets, and we were trading the bonds. I promise to you, I would sit in front of a computer for hours and I would end the day with a $31.25 P&L and be ecstatic. I would be ecstatic. I would just, oh my God, we beat the market. I made a tick, $31.25. I remember those days so vividly. I was learning about the market in those days, but I was learning about me in those days. I was understanding what a strategy was and what indicators were and liquidity and what time I should be in the market and what happens and where do all these candle things even come from and the world of traders that are out there and this thing called a stock exchange with the floor and all of the people yelling and trying to buy and sell. I was just getting started. And every one of those lessons to like today, I still lean on those lessons. Like right now, today, those lessons still echo into my career stronger than they even did, stronger than some of the ones that I've learned recently. When you have a small account, man, you know what it's like to have $500 in an account and make $50 in that day in the market? I know $50 don't sound like a lot of money. It doesn't. But you can fill up a car with 50. You don't go to the gas station, go, that's tank gas. But $50, maybe not in LA. For LA, that's a quarter tank of gas. But for everybody else, you know what I'm saying, in the nation, that's $50 is some money, in my opinion. Still right now today. Do you know what it's like to have a $500 account and make $50? Let me give it to you in like proportion. Let's say you have a $500,000 account. That means that in a day you can make $50,000 because what 500 is to 50, see, 50 is 10% of $500. There are companies that won't even promise you 10% in a year. Real hedge funds and brokerage funds that will not promise you a 10% gain per annum. You did what I'm telling you. And you can do it in a day? Oh no, you should go throw a party. Oh, come on. You got $1,000 and you woke up that morning and you made 100. Do you know that that means that if you had $100,000, you could wake up and make $10,000 in a day? No, what you have is a powerful skill that all you have to do is be patient with. Let that small thing grow a little bit for you. Come on. Come on now. Some of us are showers, but some of us are growers. And it's okay if you got to let your account grow a little bit. Come on now. You got to just let it grow a little bit. It's going to be all right. Just give it some time and let that thing grow. Because I'm going to tell you, man, the same skill that it takes to have a $50 day with a $500 account means that you have the ability to have a $50,000 day with a $500,000 account. You can have a $5,000 day with a $50,000 account. Oh, man. Oh man. Oh man. I'm telling you, just a little small consistency. Here's some practical steps, and then we'll be done with it. Go ahead. Start in sim. Everybody say sim. Say sim.
Sam.
Same.
Sam.
Oh no.
Sam.
Come on, say sim.
Yeah, I
Start it.
got it. I'm gonna
Sam.
try this other thing first.
Sam.
See if I
Man,
can cut the water off.
man, start in sim. I want to tell you, please, please, for me, do it for Jay. If you don't do it for nobody else, start in sim. Because it's just the opportunity to play the game without getting hurt. Bo Jackson, one of the baddest to ever do it, played the game, got hurt. We never saw his full potential. It's boxers went into the ring, came out, got hurt. We never got a chance to see their full career. Somebody dup say Sim Simma. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Sim Simma. Yes. You gotta be in sim for a little while. Learn your mechanics. Learn how to take risks. Learn where your stop should be, your target should be. Look, it's a simulated environment. It's like sparring. You don't have to worry about the lights. You don't have to worry about the press conference. You don't have to worry about nobody in the audience, your family wanting tickets. You can just be in your gym with your headgear on, kind of getting your punches together. Come on, just getting it together a little bit. Start in sim. And then I want you to transition to a small little account. It don't have to be a lot of money. Start with some money. Hey, I don't mind if I lose all this. Start there, little small account, or with a combine. Practice consistency. Man, can you wake up and make $30 a day in the micros? Can you just make a little 30? Come on, it's just a little $30. Come on, it ain't no money, right? It ain't gonna hurt you if you lose it. Come on now. I just want to see you just get started. Make your little $30. Jay, why you keep calling it a little $30? Because I want you to show. I want to show you, man, little becomes a lot. Look at me. I started with one student, one. Her name was Nyambi. My second student, his name was Tony. It was the three of us for 6 or 7 months before I got any other students. Tony worked at the airport in New York. And Nyambi, she was a therapist for at-risk teenage young girls. Man, I started real small. I have 30,000 students now. All you have to do is just be consistent. Man, come on, just a little small start. You'll be surprised what can happen in your life if you're willing to just get started, go slow, and build on it. I'm telling you, it's amazing. So either, go from Sim, get a small account or a combine account. Okay, I want you to create a plan for yourself. Allocate time to study materials, watch tutorials, join a community, get a coach, learn from somebody who has experience that's proven, not with hype, not with hype. Okay, it's somebody they might be very popular. You don't know if that's your person. You don't know if that person will bring you from where you are to where you want to go. But I'm going to tell you, if you want to do your taxes, you get somebody to help you with it because that's high stakes numbers. When you're about to buy a house, you didn't buy it by yourself. You had a broker, you had a mortgage broker, you had a real estate broker. You went and saw plenty of houses. You had to put all kinds of banking documents together, credit documents together, insurance documents together. Depending on the type of house, you had to have health plans and reserves and all of these other kind of things going on. Man, come on. You got help. You got a coach, somebody to get you through it. Let me tell you, when you went to first grade, you ain't go by yourself. You didn't go to school by yourself, none of your grades. You always had somebody to help you get from one grade to the next. But then you want to go to YouTube University and try and eat a little from this channel and a little bit from this channel. And if I watch Jay for 5 minutes, I see what he doing. See, all he do is put his lines like this. Then you go over here and all they do is a little bit like this. And then you try and you mess up. Has anybody done that before? Come on, say yes. If you've done it before, say yes.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know
Yes,
why?
sir.
Because they all charge too much. I'm just gonna watch a little bit and see. I'm gonna tell you, your broker charged you 6%. The people who sold you the house that fronted you the money, you're gonna be paying them for 30 more years. Ooh, when you say it out loud and let the silence happen after it, it becomes so real, doesn't it? That mortgage is gonna be around for at least another 7 presidents. Ooh, ooh, out loud. You worried about having to get a coach? Guess what? You want to be LeBron James, you need a coach. You want to be Michael Jordan, you need a coach. You want to be Tiger Woods, you need a coach. Want to be Serena Williams, you need a coach. Want to be Oprah, you need a coach. Want to be Tyler Perry, you need a coach. Everybody needs a coach. I found out that Barack Obama, we only found out about him because he called one of his big homies and say, they gonna turn the TV off of my channel, make them hold the network so I can still do my speech in front of everybody. Did y'all know that? I did not even know that until like earlier last year. We would not know who Barack Obama was because his speech when John Kerry was running was so late at night that all of the networks were going to change from the convention and start showing the regular programming. When Barack found out that they were going to change from networks watching the convention to their regular programming, he called Mr. Avant and he said, Mr. Avant, they going to change. The network's not going to see me give my speech. Mr. Avant picked up the phone and called the networks and said, look, I got this kid out of Chicago named Barack gonna give a speech. Don't change to your regular programming until he gave his speech. Cool, cool. Hangs up. Call Barack back. Look, your speech is gonna be on TV. Don't worry about it. I got you, young man. Thank you, Mr. Avant. Hangs up the phone. He speaks in front of John Kerry. John Kerry loses, and the world says that guy's gonna be the next president. We all got big homies we got to call. I call my big homies. Big bro, I don't know how to do this. Big bro, how you do this? Big bro, look at this contract to help me out. Big bro, I'm trying to do an event. How you put this event together? Big bro, what do we need to do in order to build this fund up? You have to do this. Why am I going to go on my own journey and bump my head in the same places they bump their head if all I got to ask them is, where'd you make your mistakes, bro? Hey, excuse me, ma'am, would you tell me where you made your mistakes and I can learn from your mistakes instead of having to make them myself? Simple, 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 like having a dimple, or simple, simple, like popping a pimple. Simple. Get a good coach. Get in a good community, watch some lessons and tutorials, learn from experienced traders, get around people who really know how to trade every day so you can learn how to trade every day. Simple. All right. This is a good thing. Measure progress by skills, not profits. I made 100,000 in the market today, 45,000 likes, 89 comments. The reel was shared 60,000 times. What they didn't tell you is at the beginning of the day, they started with 300,000 and they lost 200,000 first. What they didn't tell you is that they have a $5 million account. What they didn't tell you is that for that 100,000 that they made today, they've been in the position for 5 days. I'm not knocking anybody that shares their P&Ls because some of the big homies really do. Shout out to Wall Street Trapper, real big homie, real solid dude. Shout out to Trapper. If anybody know him, y'all know he's super solid. He shows what money he making all the time for real. You know what I'm saying? And he really making that bread. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to hit on people that way. But what I am saying is that your journey is your journey. And you can't say, oh, they made 100,000 and all I made today was 1,000. No, measure your growth not by the money, measure it by other metrics. How profitable are you? Just like we know Steph gonna be 72% from the field, he gonna be 87% from the free throw line. Hey, how good are you? What's your winning percentage? Because I'm gonna tell you, man, you start winning 60, 70%, you cooking with grease. Hey, did you adhere to your strategy today? Hey, did every trade you took today? I know, hey, the P&L is red, the P&L is green. Forget about it. Did you do your strategy today? Did you buy when you were supposed to, sell when you supposed to, put your stop where you should have, put your target where you should have? Oh man, if you did that, now we cooking with grease. Yeah, yeah. These are better indicators of growth. This is the indicator of growth. I want you. Man, my brother Brenton on here. Good to see you, B. I think I'm gonna be seeing you in a couple of hours, man. Shout out to my little niece Ayla. You know, Ayla is like a year old now. You should see Brenton. Me and him, we have the same thing going on. We are not that attractive, but we marry beautiful women and we have beautiful children. He has two very beautiful daughters. I have beautiful daughters. And, you know, God just blessed us. You know what I'm saying? She looks so cute in that post you posted, bro. Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, when you are measuring yourself, do not do it against someone else and don't do it by money because that'll always throw you off. You know what you have to do? You have to do it by real metrics like percentages, discipline. Did I hold my trade even when I was fearful? Emotional control. On Fridays, Deanna McManning in our room, she deals with performance psychology, understanding emotional control, and she teaches this to our community members, giving us the emotional capacity to deal with the things that we deal with. There's a scripture that I love. It says, you cannot put new wine into old wine skins. She's taken that concept, made it a course, made it a community. You guys should really check out D because when it comes right down to it, it's not just about the numbers, the X's and O's, the metrics. Because that same Steph Curry that we talk about today, his X's and O's were terrible. He was too thin. He had bad feet. These were all on his scouting report. He fatigues too quickly. He's too small. He doesn't have the ability to get to the basket. His shooting, they really wrote this in his scouting report. His shooting was spotty. Steph Curry, that's in his scouting report. Matters not what they say. It matters not what they say. You have to measure your success in a different way. Your ability to emotionally have the things that they cannot measure. Yeah, you know how tall I am. You know how much I weigh, but you don't know how hard I work. Hey, you know what my mama was and you know what my daddy was, but you have no idea what God has made me. You have no idea. Man, you know what my credit score is, and you know how much money I got in the bank, but you don't know where my house will be. You don't know what mansion I have my eyes on. Yeah, you know how my first marriage ended, and you know that right now I'm kind of single and I'm by myself raising these young ones. But it's okay. I know what my future says. I know what kind of character I have. Come on now. There are some things that cannot be measured by numbers. And for those things, man, D has put together this emotional kind of training. Y'all really got to check it out, man. The psychological, the emotional capacity to deal with the exercise daily, the mental rigor and emotional rigor of trading. Yeah, I teach it. We teach this in the community. And D, man, y'all got to check her out. The long-term mindset is the last thing. Long-term. Key idea. Here we go. Trading is a skill that rewards patience, discipline, and consistent improvement and constant improvement. Not a quick way to get rich. Get a good platform. If you're on Mac, go get TradingView or Motive Wave. If you're on PC, get NinjaTrader. Get a good community. I suggest the world famous Bond Bullies. Unmute your mic and say Bond Bullies if you won. If you a bully, and that
Bond
internet
bully.
baby check it
Bomb
out.
Bomb
bullies,
bullies,
baby.
baby.
Love.
Bond
Them
bully.
bullies.
Let me see
10
some.
Bond
milli,
bullies.
10 milli.
Yeah. And then get a good coach. There might be some others out there. I think I'm the best. I really do. I don't know if anybody's better than me. If they are, they really need to start showing it because I don't know anybody that runs 8 trade rooms a week. I don't know anybody that's made as many mentors as I have. A lot of these people are on the stage by themselves and they are companies of one, but that ain't how we do it over here. We have 36 live sessions every month. 9 sessions a week, including this one to make you better with real questions and answers. If there's a better community, please let me know. But I just keep on saying facts. I'm not talking about stuff that I think. I'm talking about I don't know anybody that got 5 sessions in the daytime, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and 3 sessions in the nighttime, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, where people can trade. I don't know anybody whose trade room has already called $32,000 worth of trades per contract in the month of January because they called $68,000 worth of trades last month in December. I don't know anybody else that's doing that. Do you guys know anybody else doing this? I don't know anybody else that has mentors that do legal and mentors that do special events and that coach on combines and coach on small contracts. I don't know anybody else doing that. Emotional control, like real people with PhDs and real emotional performance type of real I don't know anybody that does. You know anybody with a community like that? Anybody on here know anybody? Oh, no, I didn't think so. Shout out to everybody though. It's love to everybody. Like I'm not, let's not, I'm not saying this with any hate or anything, or I'm just saying if you had to choose where to go, yeah, yeah, okay, all right. I believe that that's about all I have to say. Are there any questions? Any questions? Question on Instagram. Ask them using that little question thing. Questions on here we go on YouTube. I'll keep a eye open for YouTube questions, and if there are any questions, either about stuff that I presented today, stuff on charts, whatever, we can get to it. Questions, questions, questions.
I got a question, Jay.
For sure. And just for me, when you have a question, just throw your hand up if you in the Zoom meeting or just put it in the chat stuff right there if you're on IG. And YouTube, I'm gonna come over and check y'all questions too. Okay, who's up first? I heard somebody say I have a question.
I did. Let's see.
Okay, go for it, EB.
On a percentage scale, like 1%, 30%, 20, 80%, what would rate the highest percent when it comes to the skill of trading and the
Mhm.
other part of trading? What is that percentage?
This is very good. It's a very good question that you ask because it has to do with a little bit, um, it has to do with a little bit of discretion. So let's kind of talk about it, okay? Um, Warren Buffett's career trading percentage is in the low 40s, I believe. Okay, the low 40s. So it doesn't take a high percentage to be successful. What you what you have to be able to do is recognize the loser and cut it as quickly as possible so that your wins aren't hampered. For example, let's say if every time I win, like let's do a real math. If every time I win $4, but every time I lose $1, right? That means that if I take this trade, like say if that is my risk to reward. So if I lose $1, but if I win $4. I can take that trade 10 times and be right 3 times out of 10. It could be 30%, and I'll still be able to make all the money I need with that trade. You see, because if I win 3 times, I'll have $4 times 3 wins, which is $12. And if I lose 7 times, I'll lose 7 times, but only lose $1. So that's $7. I'll win $12, lose $7 out of 10 trades, walk away 10 trades, net profit $5. So your risk to reward ratio has a lot to do with the necessary winning percentage. What I like to see is not just that you have a high winning percentage, but you have a winning percentage that outweighs a loss ratio. That way, you know that you have something that will continue to work over time. See, a strategy's job is not to work on Monday and lose every other day. A strategy's job is to work more times than it doesn't and to work better than it doesn't when it loses. So I'm going to risk $4 to make the alarm, baby. My wife just, dang, she fine. I was just saying you was fine. That's all. Um, my bad. What was I talking about?
It was
The percentages of
There you go. Percentage.
Talking
So
about how
gotta
good she looked. How good. You should tell her again one more time.
That was a good recovery.
Thank
I
you.
love
Thank
it.
you
I
so
love
much.
it. I love it.
Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah, so percentages, man. Just, put your percentages out there. I don't know where I was at, but yeah, do it right. So let's say you have a trade that works at let's call it an 80% chance that it'll work. What that means is that all you need to do is make sure that your risk to reward is going to keep that safe. So that means if it works 8 times out of 10, then on the 2 times it doesn't, don't lose as much as you will win during the 8 times. And if you could see that over, say, a span of 30 days, you might be cooking with grease on a strategy. Personally, I like to see when I do my own back testing, I like to see a yield curve in my strategy analyzer that is low left and high right. So if I don't want to see any big days where I just made a whole lot of money, I don't want to see any days where I lose a lot of money. I want to see consistent, this is working over time. That's kind of the vibe that I'm having. You know what I mean?
Hey Jay,
What's up, Pat?
this Reese again, Emmanuel.
Okay. Okay.
I think the question was kind of like two-folded, and you chose the other side of it. Like
Okay.
what, and as the percentage as far as uh like building the trader, like is the acquiring of the skill to trade a higher percentage than the psychological part of trading? Because
I think trading is 99% psychology. I
yes,
think your psychology is more
yes,
important than your technical or fundamental skills.
yes, sir. That's very important to know, man.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's like self-control. And there are so many quotes from so many legends that talk about that. Warren Buffett said that the market is an instrument that transfers money from the impatient to the patient. If patience is totally in your control, then he's not talking about something that the market has a structural control over. He's talking about the trader's capacity to be something. Can you be patient? Can you be understanding? Can you be sensitive to what other people are saying? This is always, I really believe that your emotional psychological tools are going to be much more important than your trading tools. And that's what I've seen trading, I think training 30,000 folks. I've seen folks that had everything that it took except for the courage. Some people are here right now. So if you're here right now and you're totally a guest, never really watched me teach or whatever before, you might be on the sidelines really thinking right now, like, do I even have what it takes? And we know what it's like, bro. Like there are people 10 times talented as us. I'm sorry, there are people half as talented as us with twice as much money because they ain't afraid to get started.
That's right.
Some of y'all want to have great social media platforms. Y'all took every how to grow your social media course. Ain't made two posts. There is something about having the skill to do a thing, but there's something about having the capacity within yourself to give it a go, to give it a go. You know, it's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. You know, like that's what it is. It's just your capacity. And I know people, like this is the last thing I say. I know people that have made millions of dollars trading them after I've taught them. And I know people who are smarter than those people. I can't say their names, but I know people I've taught, they are smarter. They have a better opportunity. They have all of the pieces that they need, and they still haven't made a dime in the market. I know those, like after 30,000, it's almost like I've seen the journey so many times. And what I think one of the greatest delineating factors is just somebody who's willing to try, just willing. I'm going to give it a go, a real go, a real go. Great question. Any other questions?
Sure.
MB, what's good, boy? Good to see you. I think I see Toby over here and Raynette on here too. Medina, I see you on here too. It's good to see everybody. Come on, talk to me if there are any other questions. Please feel free. I'll check in this YouTube thing too. Make sure I don't see any of them on there. No questions on there. Check. Love to you. Y'all gonna let me in the room quick right now. I love that. Thank you so much. I
We're
appreciate
gonna
it.
let you go enjoy your wife. But listen, Jay,
Hey,
this
dude.
has been profoundly I got on a little late. I had an event today. I hobbled to but this is so profound. And the days I missed, but these 3 weeks I've been on consistently because I've been able to get on here.
Yeah.
It's just been profound, man. It just helping me in so many ways, and I just wanted to say thank you and appreciate you now. And just you were making that last point, and I'll say this, try to be really quick with this before somebody come off the mic and
No,
make
no,
me be quiet.
I think I got Randy that just joined me on IG, but we listen
Oh, what's
to
going
you.
on, Randy?
Listen to you.
Yeah. So what I was going to say is, I remember, and I told you this story, Jay, where when I first was getting into, before I got to the futures, it was the year I bought your course. I didn't listen to your course that year, but I bought it in 21.
Yeah.
And in that year, I had just was taught a forex strategy.
Mhm.
And when I tell you, and I'm only telling you because I think this is so relevant, I didn't know charts, couldn't read, but I could do these 4 steps they said. It
Mhm.
yielded me, and I have the receipts, so I can, sometimes people say stuff and people say whatever they want to say, but if you don't have receipts, it's just whatever.
Yeah.
But it yielded me $107,000 off of a simple $1,000 investment. But here's the problem though, Jay. What I started realizing by the end of that year was that, and this is what made me go ahead and start really learning from you, is that I didn't know what I was doing. I was incompetent in what I was doing. I simply was following 4 steps. And then I get over to you, I start to learn, I've been refreshed, I've grown, I've become a mentor. I'm doubling my profits every year. But here's what I'm trying to get to. Sometimes have found myself getting into my own way, in that when I was over in that system where I didn't even know what I was doing, the reason there was success, and you have to take some of this attitude even here, is because the system's there, but we have to be willing to just follow it
Mhm.
without trying to challenge it. If you understand what I'm saying, that doesn't mean you don't become your own trader. Doesn't mean you don't develop your own style. It just means that sometimes people have gotten to this mindset where they think they know a little bit more than what you know. You've done this. You got 23,000 plus, really probably 24,000 students by now, and you've shown it over and over again. we're looking at you getting into the trade, and we're saying, man, this trade look like it's going to go south, and all of a sudden it comes back and it makes 10 times what you did. You understand what I'm saying? So I just want to say thank you. I mean, you're so on point. Just the way you're putting this together. And on that note, I'm gonna stop talking because I know we got to get you out of here.
No, no, I appreciate it, G. Thank you for sharing. It's very, very true. My goal is to empower people to know what they are doing so that they can do it without me. Because I don't believe in making dependent students. I think I believe in making interdependent students. I depend on them for some things and they depend on me for some things. But success in the market is their right, you know. So once they learn from me, they know how it goes. And I appreciate you sharing. Stone, I got you next, but I got Randy first. Randy, you're up, and then Stone, you're right after that.
How did you know the NQ was going up?
When?
You said the NQ was going to go up
When?
over the night market, but it actually went up around 6 o'clock in the morning, I think, 5 o'clock in the morning.
When you talking about from Thursday to Friday?
Yeah.
I can read. I can read the charts.
Here's what I want to do, Jay.
Okay.
Studied you for 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years, okay?
Okay.
I want to learn what you learned inside of your head. I can't get inside of your head.
Okay.
I need to connect to your brain.
Are you watching on YouTube?
I watch you on YouTube. Yeah.
No, I'm saying, can you see my screen right now? I know you're on IG, but can you see my screen too?
No, I just see you.
Oh man, okay, you're on IG. Let me see if I can turn it around.
I see your Q6 in the background. I'm going there and play pool.
No, this is like paneling. I wish.
Yeah.
That's upstairs. Let me see. All right. Can you see my screen now? Everybody can see my screen. Okay.
And yes, I can.
All right. So you said NQ and you were saying
You said, hey, the market was selling off, and you said, you know what? I really believe it's going to go to the high side. It's going to go up.
yes, from the 16th to the 17th. Yeah, from the 16th to the 17th. There was
had one guy said, I'm going to sell it at 16 or so. I forget what he said, 06 or something. He's going to sell it at.
Okay.
Forget his name. But go ahead.
So everybody, Randy is talking about the 16th. Let me give you a little bit of a tour. We were trading together around this time. Let me get another color. This was the time we were in the trading room, kind of in there, I think. Yeah, that's kind of the time we were together. Maybe a little bit higher, maybe a little bit up here. We were trading together, you know, in this sort of area, this sort of time. And this is January 16th. So I told everybody before getting off that the market, I was more explicit on the ES. I said on the ES, it'll go down to 60 and then it should go up. So the way that it looked on the ES was this. We were trading kind of, let me spread it out. We were trading around this time. I said it should go down to 60. As you can see, this is 59.60. And then we should rise up. And I wanted on Friday for us to get to 47.
Right.
47 is right around this purple line. We made it up to 50 and then we sold off. I was a bit more explicit, I believe, on the ES than I was on the NASDAQ. And you're asking, what did I see? Okay, so let me show you what I had. I had about this. This is kind of what I had, because when we're together, like say everybody, this is an hourly chart. So this is the 9 a.m. candle. So that means this is the 10, the 11, and we're basically getting off of our chat around this candle. So I probably had this. Okay. What I'm noticing in the structural problems that we have here is we have done something violent. I say that it's violent here because to gap through the market, to pass by, is to unilaterally determine direction. Right. It is an unfair market structure. markets like when majorities of opinions agree so that many trades can be transacted along the way. But when you have a gap in the market, what you have created is a place where people haven't had the opportunity to buy or sell.
Right.
Okay. What that does is weaken the capability of the buyers to keep moving along. For example, let me give you a for example in life. Look at me. If you bought your house for $100,000 and I'm going to buy the house right next to yours, I don't want to buy my house for $200,000.
No.
You got yours for 100, even if I'm a couple months behind you. I don't want to have to buy mine for even 115. Maybe I'll do 106, 107, but I'm not going to do 200. That is violent. If the price of the house goes $100,000 and then $300,000, this is an unfair price move.
Right.
Let's say we're at an auction. We're going to, I have this lovely pen. This is a pen that was given to me. I'm going to show you this pen. This pen is so cool because it floats. You see, this is my floating pen. It was given to me by my mother-in-law. I just put it like that. It's my floating pen. Thank you, brother. It's my floating pen. I keep it on my desk. Everybody, if you can't see, here's my floating pen. All right, my floating pen. I love this pen. Great pen. Starting bid for the pen, $5. Somebody say $5. $6. Somebody say $6. Come on, let's bid. Let's bid. Come on, y'all. 10. Okay, what if I said, okay, I see 10. Next price, 2,000. You see what I just did? I violated the buyers because I didn't let them get a chance to incrementally bid. That's why we get mad if we're all bidding 100, 110, 115, 125, and somebody comes over the top and says $500. We go, what? Dang, bro. You just gonna jump everybody? That is the action. Because every market is an auction. This is something you'll never learn anywhere else. Every market is an auction. Every market has people holding up something and saying starting bid. You know, every market is an auction. If you violate the buyers or sellers by skipping them, it weakens the price of the thing as it rises. Because no one wants to buy the house. If you bought it for $100,000 in January, no one wants to buy it for $300,000 in February. You skipped so many prices. And because I don't want to keep buying the house, your value will get hurt. Your house won't grow in value. You see what I'm saying? Everybody else's value will keep going up and yours won't. Because no one is willing to buy at the price to confirm the value of the instrument. I'm teaching you something that I'm teaching way better than I don't even think you know. Just hear what I'm telling you, because I'm gonna tell you now visually what that looks like. What that looks like is this. Let's look at the story that the buyers and sellers have told us. We say, oh my God, look what's going on. There is news in the market. Wow, whoa, the buyers are taking off. Everybody should be a buyer now. Come on, let's buy. Yep, we're going to do it. Buying, we're going to do it. Come on, we just got to get above this 214. We can do a break. Oh, we're trying. Oh, maybe, come on, guys. We just need more buyers. All of the buyers are down here saying, we wanted to buy too. We ain't going to buy the house if it's 300,000 the next month. No, we want to buy too, but we just not going to buy up that high. We're not going to help y'all. Come on, guys. Our house value. Come on, we just got to keep pushing it up. Okay, now here's Thursday. This is the day in question. I see right now, structurally, there's already a problem right now. I have my line in the sand here. This 214.50 area is so important. And I see that drastically the buyers cannot defend it, which lets me know that they're going to open up the floodgates. You see it? They're starting to open the floodgates. Now, this is 9. Here's 10 and 11. By this time, we're off the room. What I can see is that sellers are attacking. Now, it doesn't look like they have a lot of sauce yet. But my predictive capabilities have shown me this movie enough. I see that even though this is a green candle, look how deep the sellers got before the buyers were able to recover. And this is a red candle. Look how much deeper the sellers got before the buyers were able to push anything back. Now I'm going to show you how to read a candle. These buyers took us here. Those, now you got to feel me. These sellers took us here. The buyer response to those sellers was not as good as it should have been. They hit them, call it 1,000 pounds worth of pressure, and the response was 800 pounds worth of pressure. So the buyers could not hit back as hard as the sellers hit them first, even though it looks like it should be a buying day. Where do I believe is a fair place for everyone to agree upon value? Well, for me, this area right in here looks very rich as a point to agree on. That area looks good for me on the NASDAQ. To me, it coincided with what I believed about the ES. Let me go to it right here. When I was on the ES, it felt like 60. You know, it feels like, well, let me back it up. Come on, back it up, Jay. If we're here by the time the days, if we're right here by the time it's time for us to get out of the session, and I got to say, clock on the wall says that's about all, people still going to keep trading. So I got to tell them what I really think. Hey, if you're trying to buy this thing, I don't think that the buyers are going to help from up here at 6,000. Now, I'm willing to buy the house, but I'm not going to buy it all the way at 6,000. At least meet me at 5,960. If we can agree at halfway. Now, there is an English prefix. The English prefix is the prefix COM, com. It means with, like community, with unity, like compromise, like with promise. Buyers and sellers are dependent upon one another. If you don't have Mike Tyson, you can't get Evander Holyfield. Because the opposites need one another. Now, these buyers might want to go further, but they're going to need the sellers to agree with them, to compromise with them, to transact with them at a fair place. And that fairness to me felt like 5,960. And on the ES, on the ES and on the NASDAQ, it felt the same way. Now, once that compromise was reached, I believe that, you know, further advances by the buyers were totally possible, man. You know, hey, you ain't got to come down all the way back to 100,000 for me to buy the house. I still love the house. And I know that it's going to be worth 500,000 in a year and a half. So you don't have to come all the way down to 100, but shoot, don't make me pay 300 for it, because by the time I do that, broker fees and pay my mortgage for 2 years, I'm gonna break even on the deal. Bring the house down. Let me get it for 175. Let me get it for 180. Then I'll pay my mortgage for 2 years and sell it for 500,000 when I know where the market is going. And that's exactly what you saw graphically here on the ES and NASDAQ. It was just the buyers violently skipped so many people who wished to participate. And in order for the buyers to continue their trek to the upside, they needed to bring on more participation. And you're not going to get buyers to participate at price. No one pays for the house at asking price. That's rare. What people do is say the house is what? 150? I'll give you 130 for it. Because buyers always want something lower, which is typically why if news comes out and it's going up, the news will go down first. The candle will go down, pick up where the buyers are, then go up. You see what I'm saying? So that's all it was. It was just an idea of compromising. And an area or place that I felt really comfortable about it was the 212.14 area. And I felt like after that, they started lifting up. And that's what they did overnight, and that's what happened. Make sense?
Okay, that's very good. Very good. I got it.
Good,
Thank
good,
you.
good.
Thank you.
You're very, very welcome.
you.
Very welcome.
Yeah.
All right. Questions. Okay. Randy, I appreciate you, bro. I'm gonna let somebody else get on. Love, bro. Take care.
Thank you.
Questions.
Stone.
Oh, yeah, Stone, you had a question, bro. Hey, you know, I hollered at your mom yesterday. She had like a technical thing. It's so
Yeah.
cool, man. Your mom is a cool person. I'm so glad that she wants to learn how to trade.
Yeah, man. That's just wanted to say thanks for that. We're just
Yeah, she's
excited.
amazing, man. She was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's the mistake I was making. Okay, cool. And she was off to it. She was good to go.
It was a
Yeah,
big
yeah.
day, man. Yeah, she signed up for inventory as a voting system, about to change her life like it did mine. Got my first payout yesterday too. So
Ah, my dog. Let's go. Let's
let's
go.
go.
My dog.
Congrats, Stone.
Yeah,
Proud
man.
of you,
Thank
bro.
That's
y'all.
what's
Praise him
up,
up, man. Praise
Stone.
him up.
Go
Appreciate y'all.
Congratulations.
Congrats, Stone.
Congratulations.
Look at that
Congratulations.
smile. Look at that
Congratulations.
smile.
From
Congratulations,
now
bro.
on, when people
Congratulations.
say, man,
Right.
what do you do? You know, how do you make money? If you say, I'm a trader, you ain't lying.
Mm.
Because you make money in the markets trading. You couldn't say that a little while ago. You could say it now and be telling the whole truth. Hey, they praising you up on Instagram too. Shout out to Anthony. I see you on here, Foodie Engineer, Danny the Flower Child on here. They all praising you up, bro. It's all good. It's all
Appreciate
good.
y'all. Let's go. Let's
I
go.
got Stone, then I got Be Rich, then I have Tim, my man Tim on here, and Robin. And we're gonna do, I'm gonna make sure I get through it pretty quickly, y'all. Thank you for your patience with me. We're gonna get right to it. What's up, Stone?
Well, welcome to the next level, Stone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Long time coming. I think you're muted, bro. What's on your mind?
Oh, I just wanted to say that. Appreciate you, man. Thank
Hey
you.
man, love to you. Love to
Love
you.
to
I'm
you.
excited about inventory as a voting system cohort 8. We're gonna pull out all the stops and make sure moms get to this bag. You dig? We're gonna make sure she gets to this bag. Next, I got my man Be Rich. Be Rich, I'm bringing you on right now. I'm trying to get you on here. Tolson on here praising you up too, Stone. They all on here. Bless one on here too, man. Yeah, bro. That's cool. That's cool. This is a community. We know one another. We see each other every day. Sometimes more than we see some of our regular friends, you know, in the real world. We together probably about 13, 14 hours a week if you count daytime, and probably another like if you do daytime and nighttime, probably about 20 hours together a week, talking, laughing, current events, what's going on in politics and everything in between. Be Rich, I'm trying to get you on here, bro. I don't know why it's not allowing. And it's really a family affair, you dig? It's really a family thing. I don't know. Be Rich, can you get on? Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get Tim. Tim, you come on and join. I'm trying to accept that now, but it's really a family thing. The new TLR. I can hear you. What's up, brother? Never. What's up with it? I like that. Mhm. It's all good. It's all good. Yes.
For everybody that's on here that's maybe what in my generation we used to like to call player hates, right? I was looking at your live stream, I think it was either Friday or Thursday.
Yes.
And I'm sitting there watching, and the people's in the chat like, this guy can't show a broker statement. This guy can't trade, and why can't you show me your broker? I'm showing you nothing. That's what you said. But that knows I know you keep professional.
Yeah, I try my best. I try my best.
A person helping so many people. Why do you feel the need to come in and try to poke holes in something that's helping so many people?
You know,
It's not for you just stay silent.
You know,
Help those to help.
I totally feel you. One time I might have been 14 years old, and I was in New Orleans, Louisiana, as a young, musically talented young man. What up, Rich? Good to see you on here. Uh, as a musically talented young man, I was on the youth praise team. And you know that y'all know about the youth praise team. You know the young people that come out, they're going to lead worship for the church or whatever. And I was on the youth praise team, but this was the praise team for the international conference in Louisiana at the New Orleans Superdome.
Okay.
So I had to sing that night, but it was at least 25,000 people out there at the conference. And after we were done, they gave us, because we were the singers, they gave us good seats. You know, we didn't have to go to row 8,000, section Z. You know, we could get some good seats. So there I was, an impressionable 14-year-old, you know, trying to go to this church conference and express my musical talent. And a guy came up to preach. And the guy who came up to preach, his name was Carlton Pearson. Carlton Pearson has since then passed away, but he had a great legacy that I wasn't even privy to as a young man. All I knew is that he had kind of slick back hair, and he kind of talked like a little bit like this, and he was just saying, kind of talk a little rounded, and I recognized that as a musician and a keyboard player in our tradition in Black church. I don't know if anybody's been to Black church recently. They don't do it at a lot of Black churches now, but they had this tradition at the end of a sermon where a preacher would do this thing called hooping. And hooping was this cool kind of musical expression, and it comes from our illiterate tradition, because we were not allowed to read in this country until I would say not so long ago. Not so long ago was literacy something that we could be proud of. As Black folks, we weren't allowed to read. The one of us that was allowed would have to say a phrase, and then the rest of us would have to call it back. That's why Black church is built so call and response, because it's from our origin. So when he hooped, the cool thing about Carlton Pearson is, if you're a musician, if you're hooping, if you're playing for somebody, they hoop on the one. You know what I'm saying? Bum, God is so good. Bum, ain't he good, church? Bum, ain't he real good? You know what I'm saying? But Carlton Pearson didn't hoop on the one. He hooped on the two. So if it was bum, he'd say, ain't he good, church? You know, it was this really beautiful way to approach hooping. It was like jazzy. And I remember that about him. He even when I was a kid, I can still see him now. I can see him now. Black suit, white collar. He had a little chain. He had a little rounded little talk, and he had this slick back hair. His collar had a purple shirt. He was a real little gaunt man, and you know he looked like he had himself together. A couple rings. He was vibing, and he was very, very well spoken. And you could tell that he had been to a lot of school because he knew languages and stuff. This is one thing that he said, Tim. He said, you don't have to worry about whether or not you're in motion. He said, because Newton has taught us that anything in motion causes friction. So in my life, I start realizing, man, you know you going somewhere when the wind push against you. That's how you know you're running fast. Hey, and you know that you lifting strong when the weight's pushing down on you. That's how you know you're getting big. And you know you teaching good when there's some of them hecklers in that audience. They got to be out there. They got to. They got to. I'm teaching too good. I know. I'm teaching too good. They got to get a fake account, and then they got to come in here and they got to talk that junk, because anything in motion causes friction. That's the only way I know I'm going in the right direction, Tim. It's some friction. You know, they don't invite you to certain podcasts. You can't be on everything. You know, Tim, me and you have talked about this. They won't let it go but so far. You know, even if you got the money, they won't let you put an ad on that platform, because they friends won't like it if you have an ad on that platform. So, you know, the biggest thing that I have done now is I love it. I use them as markers of positive movement. because I know I'm going fast when that wind blowing hard against me. And just like in everybody's life out here, Tim, I remember the day that Tim is he goes down in history as one of the bullies no bully will ever forget. Because Tim retired from his job in the trade room. Yeah, that same trade room that we have. Oh, Tim was in his office like this. He had a piece, he had a countdown on his cubicle. People coming around. What you doing? He leaving his job live in the trade room. I still got the video. And God is good. Since then, man, you smiling, your skin look good, your children growing up beautiful, your wife beautiful, you handsome, life is good. That's the vibe for us, And I know that I know something came against you. So my question to you is, how did you overcome the things that was in your way, trying to stop your momentum? What pushed against you, and how did you beat it? That's what I want to know.
Everything pushed against me. I ain't gonna hold you. Everything pushed against me, and the way I beat it is God is good and my wife is amazing. That's how I beat it. I tell people. Understand it is crazy. Understand that you can't do it. So it's like I just stay focused. I stay focused on what's my set.
Yeah. I know you remember her from the trade room a long time ago. This Sunday, the little baby that was in my arms when we was trading. Yeah, man. She's old second grader now, believe it or not. Got an iPad and always using my phone.
Second grader.
That same old baby.
Junior is a senior, and Chris, he a sophomore now.
Jesus.
Man, they growing up.
Jesus.
Yeah, man,
they were elementary and middle school kids when you and me met.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yes.
Off to college next year.
Next year off to college. And then he got his acceptance letter from one of the colleges and didn't even tell me. I'm like, why you ain't tell me? He was like, Dad, you was in the studio teaching some of the game. I say, son, that's worth interrupted. You come you say, oh, my bad, my apologies.
Yeah. Congratulations. Man, let me tell you, man, y'all praise them up in the chat too. Y'all know they build pipelines for young black men that go from elementary school to the prison. And guess what? Right. He ain't go for it. That's why that man that's right there, he's a good trader and he's a fantastic investor. And let me tell you, but one thing that he's an outstanding husband and an outstanding father. That was the first thing that I learned about him.
First, all right, that's it. Family first.
That's what matters. So that's how you got through it. So for the practicality of it, let me just say, what's one thing that was like a real obstacle for you when you began your journey as an investor? Because so many people want to be like you, bro. You don't have no job. You ain't got to go to nobody's office. What is it?
The one thing that the biggest obstacle for me, right, was honest people giving me valuable information. That was my biggest obstacle, right? And I found out about you through somebody. At the time, I didn't know her. We later became good friends, but her name is Kiki. I heard her talking about you, right? And she's like, if you want to learn futures, check out Jada Trader, right? And I wrote your name down because I didn't know her at the time, and I didn't know, and so I wrote your name down, and I started checking you out. And the free value that you gave me made me want to invest in your bond bullets course, because my problem was I couldn't find honest people giving me valuable information, right? And then once I found you, right, you are the person. I tell everybody like this right here. I say Mark Monroe taught me options, Jason Sweeting taught me futures, and P-Dub introduced me to the mindset that I needed to make it all work. Right? That was my I tell
mix.
people that all the time.
That's your mix.
That was my mix.
Yeah.
Right? That was my mix. And Kiki introduced me to P-Dub, right? And me and Kiki became great friends, right? And you taught me futures, And the stuff that I learned from you, and then the stuff that I learned after you, it just turned into this melting pot of knowledge.
Yeah.
And once I learned how to internalize it for me, skies was the limit. Skies was the limit. And so that was my biggest obstacle.
Access to good
Honest people with valuable information.
I like the way you put that. I like the way you put that. Man, I know that you hanging with the family. I think I just saw the car stop and you. Okay. Okay. Man, I want to say thank you. I often say you don't know what a tree is until some fruit come off. And for me, the people that I've had the humble opportunity to teach, they are the fruit that falls from my tree. To see, I mean, just the success that you had in the market it's crazy. It's ridiculous. And to see that it's still going on, like most people think that it is a far-fetched concept to do this and make a living and raise a family with it. You're like everybody, like for real, this is living proof. You can do this and raise a family.
Cut you off, Jason.
Talk to me.
I need to say this. I want to say this matter of fact, do me a favor, turn your phone around so YouTube can see my face too.
Okay,
right?
There you go. I think they can see you now.
Okay, so this is what I want to say to everybody, right? Jason Sweden taught me how to trade futures, right? Me and my wife, prior to me learning how to trade futures, we had a plan for me to retire, right? I was supposed to retire January 2021, right? I didn't retire January 2021 because the plan that I was supposed to do TLR video and photography to be able to support my family, right? I didn't retire in 2021 because of fear of, okay, my calendar is booked for the next 6 months, but what about 6 months after that? During that time, I was studying Jason's course, right? Jason gave me the confidence that I can really do this trading thing. Not only did he teach me how to do futures, but he gave me the confidence that I can really, because I was dealing with imposter syndrome. I never told Jason this, but I was dealing with imposter syndrome for a long time. But he gave me the confidence that I can really do this trading thing, right? So fast forward to April 2021, right? April 30th, because I was retiring on 4:30 at 4:30. I got off at 4:30 in the afternoon. So on 4:30, I was going to retire at 4:30. Like he said, I retired in the trading room that morning. I had my countdown. I had a 2-week countdown, but that morning I went hour by hour. And then when I got down to the last hour, I started going minute by minute, right? I retired in the trade room. And then fast forward about a month after I retired in the trade room, I told my wife, I said, anybody who calls you for TLR video photography, tell them that we no longer do that. I had 2 more weddings to do that summer, right? I had 2 more weddings to do that summer. And I said, if anybody calls you now, tell them we no longer offer those services, right? And then in July of 2021, we paid off our house, right? We paid off our house. And I can say this is all from, right, the good information, the valuable information that this young man, Jason Sweden, gave me for trading futures, and then the confidence he instilled in me through the brotherhood and the camaraderie in the bond bullies, right? The leadership that he showed, right? The leadership that he showed. So from me to you, if you got smoke with Jason, you got smoke with me. If you don't believe he's the real thing, I'm here to tell you he's the real thing. And if you believe in yourself and you take this valuable information that he's trying to give to you, sky's the limit. I yield my time. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. And Jason, feel free to record it and run it as an ad.
Bruh. Bro, I don't know what to say after that. I thank you. I didn't know he was gonna say that. I didn't know none of this, but thank you. I appreciate it. I didn't know, but we were yeah, I do know that now. I do know that. Man, God is good. And everybody, y'all praise him up. He's doing amazing things still. And forget about the market stuff, man. Them boys look amazing. Y'all heard what he said, how he made it through, the goodness of God, and his wife is amazing. And there it is. Bro, I know that you're hungry. I appreciate you taking a little time, big dog.
I'm about to hit up Shane's real shit.
Shout out to Shane's. I'm gonna holler back at you, bro.
All right, Dad. Y'all be
Much love.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. That's really crazy. I didn't know that that was gonna happen. And yeah, Tobia just said, ain't much else to do after that. You just got to say clock on the wall. So I'm going to go on and say it for everybody. Clock on the wall says that's about all. I have enjoyed you all and had a ball. But boom, boom, skeet, skeet. That's it. Your boy Jay's got a split. Today we talked about how much you really need to start in the market, man. You need some effort and some time and a good coach and a great community and attitude to believe, as was pointed out by Emmanuel. Man, you need somebody who, an honest person to give you valuable information. I love the way that that was put. An honest person to give you valuable information. And if I'm honored, everybody who's given me the chance to be that honest person in their career. It's much love. So before I cry, we all we got, but that's cool.
We all we
We all
got.
we
We
need.
need.
Thank you.
LA in the
Love you,
house.
bro. Love you,
Love
bro.
you, love you, love
Yeah,
you
yeah,
all.
yeah.
Love,
Yeah, yeah,
love,
yeah.
love.
Peace, peace.
Booyaka,
Love you.
booyaka, booyaka, booyaka.
I
All
need
right,
DG to tell me
DG.
10 minutes. DG, where you at?
Right here, brother. 10 million, baby.
10 million.
All right.
Somebody from the West, would y'all help me?
Hootie hoo, LA in the house.
All right.
Hello.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.